I am Maria Garcia de Fleury. Bernard was born in Burgundy, France, near Switzerland, in the year 1090. As a young man, worldly friendships, no matter how attractive and brilliant, left him empty and bored. After each party, he felt more and more disillusioned with the world and its pleasures. Bernard went to the convent of the Benedictine monks called Sister and asked to be admitted. Upon accepting it, Bernard returned to his family's house to tell the news, and everyone objected. Bernard began to speak so wonderfully about the advantages and qualities of religious life that he managed to take his four older brothers, his uncle, and almost all the young people from the surrounding area to the convent. And together with 31 companions, he arrived at the convent of the Cistercians to ask to be admitted as religious. But before, on his farm, he had prepared them all for several weeks on how they should behave to be fervent religious people. In the year 1112, at the age of 22, he went to the convent as a religious. His entire family arrived one by one to ask to be received as religious. Friends, in the entire history of the church, it is difficult to find another man who has had such a great power of attraction to bring people to religious communities as Bernard. In the universities, in the towns, in the fields, to the young people, upon listening to him speak of the excellences and advantages of life in a convent, went in groups to be instructed and formed as religious. Within 4 years, a moribund religious community had regained enough vitality to establish a new house with Bernard as abbot, as superior. Being very young, Bernard was very demanding of himself and of others. When he became ill and felt his health weakened, then there he learned to be patient and understanding. His skill as an arbitrator and advisor became widely known. He was increasingly called upon to resolve long-standing conflicts. Bernard dedicated himself completely to the primacy of the Roman See. He intervened in a full-blown schism and resolved it in favor of the Roman pontiff against the antipope. The Holy See convinced Bernard to preach the Second Crusade throughout Europe. His eloquence was so overwhelming that a large army was gathered and the success of the crusade seemed assured. However, the ideals of the men and their leaders were not those of Abbot Bernard, and the project ended as a complete military and moral disaster. Bernard felt very responsible for this failure. He composed the words of the Salve, O clement, O pious, O sweet Virgin Mary. He founded more than 300 convents for men. He got about 900 men to make their religious profession. Bernard's life in the church was more active than we can imagine today, but he knew that his efforts and reach would have been little use without the many hours of prayer and contemplation that provided him with strength and heavenly direction. His life was characterized by a deep devotion to the Blessed Mother. His sermons and books on Mary remain the standard of Marian theology. Bernard died on August 20, 1153, leaving an immense legacy of prayer, love, and devotion to our Blessed Mother, inviting everyone to come closer to God because he knew that with God we always win.